football. How fun was that? Yeah! Hey, huge crowd out here. I hope you give them a lot of love. Everything we talked about last night, everything we talked about all summer, everything we talked about, build up to the season, all that, it did it. And it's all on you guys, your hard work, your brotherhood, that you come out here and fight. Gave the fans an awesome game and a game you'll never forget. Speaking for all the coaches, we can't be any prouder of you guys. I want you to enjoy it, okay? Enjoy this one. Man, I just love you guys. Okay, love you guys. So let's get
Hey, we got another one, baby. We got
next week, baby.
Monday we start over, baby.
It's time to play ball. Welcome to the podcast with no limits. Whether it be sports, current events, or random thoughts, this is the place to step in and stay a while. Your host is a proud alumnus of Rio Hondo Prep, a former minor league baseball umpire, and a man with strong opinions. Welcome to the Get Home Safe podcast and your host, Matt Hersema.
Hey guys, and welcome to a very special edition of the Get Home Safe podcast. We are broadcasting live on Facebook Live. Already have a few people listening. And guys, today, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about the big victory over Charter Oak High School on Friday night in the first round of the CIF playoffs, Division 7 for Rio Hondo Prep. We talked a lot about it last week, got a little emotional at times, building up this game. And I thought it lived up to the drama. Just could not be more proud of the Rio Hondo Prep Cares, the great class of 2022, as well as the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen, everyone who was on that team, everybody who contributed, just incredibly proud of them. And was setting up Facebook Live this morning. And the first round, of course, didn't go smoothly. That's how it is. So that first video, hopefully people aren't watching it. It didn't last very long, but here we are now, recording live on Facebook Live. So happy that we do have a few people who are going to watch this live, and this will also be out as regularly scheduled Monday's episodes like we've been doing here. So it looks like we got some people watching already. Feel free to chat with us, comment. I'll try to keep this thing going, try to interact with you guys as much as I can. But I got to tell you, today, guys, is an extremely busy show, a ton to talk about. Head coach Mark Carson will be on with us here shortly. We're also going to be joined by senior Ray Montez, who I talked to Friday night after the game. He could not be more happy. I thought he really exemplified the performance as a team, a guy who was just in the middle as a linebacker, making lots of tackles. And of course, the offensive line really, to me, is who won the game. And you could argue, you could say, well, everyone contributed. Well, the thing with the fact of the matter is that the game was played basically by 15 players. There's 27 guys, I think, on the roster. And that's no knock on anyone that did not contribute, because guys contribute in different ways. But as far as the guys on the field, there's about 15 guys who played on Friday night up against, I don't know how many played on Charter Oak's side of the field, but they played both ways. And as is often the case, it's not like it's anything new. There was worry, concern if Rio could hold up physically, because one or two injuries, it just cripples you as a football team. And there were some injuries. Jonathan Guerrero cramped up, not once or twice, but like 3 times, doing the workload like he normally does. And it was Gio Ortega who stepped in, not just doing what he normally does in the special teams and maybe on some reverses and pass catches and such, but he stepped in at tailback. He stepped in and took the bulk of the carries, and Rio didn't miss a beat. What Gio Ortega did on Friday night was truly remarkable, going into a position he doesn't normally play. And the Cares offense just continued to execute. I mean, I don't want to leave out names here from the night because everybody contributed. It was a team win. I can't tell you the comments on Facebook, the comments from people I've talked to about the incredible play by Damian Diaz to seal the win. not just to make the play, but then to go to the 1 yard line and have the presence of mind to just take a knee, and knowing that Rio could just run out the clock from there. And in my opinion, Rio Hondo Prep won that football game by 2 touchdowns. They trailed by 1 point very briefly for about a minute, dominated the football game physically. I know it was 37-30 back and forth. I thought Rio Hondo overall, except for a couple of 55-yard touchdowns, runs from Jakari Black, the Charter Oak speedster, defensively did pretty well. A couple mistakes in the secondary, a busted coverage for Charter Oak's first touchdown, miscommunication. That happens. It shouldn't, but it happens. I thought overall, the physical nature of the football game was something that Rio excelled in. They were undersized. Nobody cares. Speed-wise, I thought they matched up. You know, when Jakari Black got loose, yeah, you probably weren't going to catch him. But I also saw Gio Ortega running away from quite a few people. Ryan McCullough, 58-yard touchdown catch, shocked Charter Oak, and that was huge. Right after Jonathan Guerrero went out for the first time, Ortega goes to tailback. Charter Oak loads up the box. We're going to stuff the run, and Randy Johnson, with the best play call of the game, in my opinion, totally shocks the Chargers. McCullough out of the backfield. He's wide open. Damian Diaz completes his only pass of the game for a 58-yard touchdown. And that's no knock on Damian. A couple throws missed, a couple opportunities maybe, but Rio didn't throw the ball that often. And, you know, it was Damian's leadership, again, not just with taking the knee on the 1 yard line to run out the clock, to have the presence of mind to do that as a 17-year-old kid. It was just remarkable. Damian Diaz impressed me Friday night for a lot of reasons. I saw him talking to the officials after a few penalties. He went away from the team, didn't gang up on the refs. He was a team captain. He went over, had a conversation with the official, with the white hat, and I think another official, trying to get some clarification. These are things I notice. I try to take great pride in noticing things that other people don't. There's also something I noticed from senior Paul Elena that I want to get to late in the game that I guarantee you no one even saw. Maybe his parents who probably were watching him. But when all eyes were somewhere else on the biggest play of the game, I noticed something Paul Elena did. And I can't wait to talk to Coach Mark Carson about we're going to look at some plays if we have time. Guys, I'm telling you today, we got voicemails from a ton of fans. I got emails. I got messages. I mean, I want to talk about the game, but I think the fans are going to kind of do that for me today. Again, Ray Montez coming on the program later. At the end of this episode. It may go a while. And thank you for those joining us on Facebook Live. I'm going to check the comments. I got to look at my notes as well. But anybody who comments here, I'll try to respond. Maynard Bajorquez is listening from the DC Zoo. So Washington, DC, Maynard Bajorquez, what a loyal alum he is, staying up till midnight or whatever it is on the East Coast, watching the Rio Hondo game. I tried to do what I could on the Facebook Live. I couldn't broadcast the whole game, but I pretty much did. It was great getting the comments from people. Chris Flagg, game was beyond epic. Yes, I agree, Chris. Absolutely. And I want to read to you guys a comment from Rio Hondo alum Larry Pollock, who commented on one of those Facebook Live videos. He said, Monday's podcast is going to be lit. Congrats, Rio, on the win. My voice is smoked. Mad respect to Damian Diaz taking the knee instead of the glory touchdown. That's unselfish RHP football right there. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely is. And the funny thing is, I would have been fine had he run it in, because it's like, okay, we're up 2 touchdowns now with, under 2 minutes left. But Damian was not thinking about himself in that moment. He was like, Rio Hondo Prep athletes are constantly coached up to be thinking ahead. And Damian was in that moment. Hey, Charter Oak never is going to touch the ball again. Yeah, we're going to only win by 7 instead of 14. So to process all of that is just phenomenal. There had to be some pre-snap thoughts going into it, but I loved how he, on that play, I watched the secondary. I tried to get my eyes on McCullough, who applied the pressure to the quarterback, Farrar, grandson of the great Lou Farrar, and it flushed him to his right. Damian and his secondary buddies had backed off, giving Charter Oak kind of some room in front of the sticks. I think it was 4th and 8, maybe 4th and 7. And then he broke forward. As soon as he saw that ball, he broke for it and picked it off. A huge singular moment in Rio Hondo Prep history. Was it one of the top 5 plays in Rio history? I would put it up there. I would absolutely put it up there just for the impact, the significance of it. I talked to a lot of fans at the game, some Rio Hondo historians who were giving me some grief about some of my selections about some of the previous playoff games, the significance and, my favorites. I'm like, hey, I'm only 36. I haven't been around that long. I would love to hear more stories about the games from the past. I love that. So any alumni out there who have memories from the 80s and the early 90s and 70s, hey, keep them coming. This is my list I put together last week was just a list of games I have witnessed. And what I saw Friday night was beyond unbelievable. I believed in Rio. I think a lot of people did. I got to give a shout out to the RHP faithful who showed up. We saw some faces that we haven't seen in a while that showed the significance of the game. The stands were packed. The stands were completely full. People standing along the fence line. And when you compared it to Charter Oak's side, keep in mind, one of the best programs in the San Gabriel Valley, Charter Oak stands were significantly empty. They had the band there. They had, a few parents there. Before the game, there was like no one there. And then even during the game, not a very big crowd, not a very good showing for that big student body. And I thought before the game, even they could put together a chain crew, and they were bribing people saying, hey, you get a free burger and this and that. And they couldn't put together a chain crew. So it was the Rio Hondo parents who volunteered the normal chain crew for the home games. And I applaud Rio stepping up. Some of the parents there, I know Rick Johnson, father of Calvin and Colby Johnson, he was there working the chains alongside. I mean, he kind of, I think, captains the chain crew or whatever it is, but I forgive me for not knowing the other names of the parents, but yeah, Rio Hondo parents said, sure, we'll do the chains. I guess Charter Oak was having some issues with volunteers and such, but that was a bummer to see. Like, really, you guys can't put together a chain crew? So props to the parents, and thank you to everyone who got there early. I mean, I talked to some alumni before the game. It was just cool to see that when the boys took the field about 25 minutes before kickoff, the stands were full. They walked out. I don't know, it was one of my first Facebook Live videos when they walked out 2 by 2 with the lights in the distance. That was my favorite video. And when we hit the field to see everybody, it was just phenomenal. Okay, we are now going to be joined by head football coach Mark Carson, who is in the waiting room. Let's bring him on the program. And keep those comments coming, guys. Yes, Charter Oak was empty. Chris Flagg. Mark Carson is connecting to audio. Mark Carson, you're on live on the Get Home Safe podcast.
We're live today.
We are. Yes, sir. Welcome back. Hey, Mark, I'd ask you how you're doing, but I think I know, my friend.
That's would be a redundant question. You know exactly. Yeah, doing great.
Yeah. So, Mark, we were talking. Are you gonna be able to afford this new phone plan that you need with all the texts that you have coming in over the weekend? Didn't you have to upgrade your bill or your plan of some way?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that because I get in the bus after leaving the field on Friday night, and we're gonna go hit that In and Out on Grand Avenue, and so I wanted to text my wife Claudia, hey, we're gonna I'll be back, blah blah blah. I get on there, I had 74 texts, 74, and then probably between that over the weekend, people hit me up, well wishes, all that, probably over 200 texts. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow, Mark. Well, a game for the ages.
Yeah, happy about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good problem. Good, not a problem, but Mark, there's so much to get to today. I have multiple voicemails. I have emails. I want you to hear all this because I want RHP family. What's the term you like? Not RHP Nation, but RHP.
The real family.
Real family. Yeah. I mean, they were out in force. Mark, we had guys watching this game. Sean Tellis commented on one of my videos. He was watching from Hong Kong. I mean, I can't tell you the energy that went into this game, and the game absolutely delivered. So before we get to anything else, what are your initial thoughts, your opening statement on what occurred Friday night?
Yes, it was, first of all, the crowd that showed up for us was amazing. And then you add all the people who were watching digitally somehow. And probably one of the most well-attended road games for sure of all time. And then even though it was only a few miles away, and then just the outpouring of support, even to the build up to the game, all the people, hey man, we're watching, wishing you well. And that, not necessarily that come out of the woodworks. I think they've always been fans, but that you just haven't heard from and really no reason to hear from. But in this moment they want to reach out. So that's really cool. And then just the extreme emotion of the game. And sometimes you win a game and it's ho-hum, you won the game. And, but all that was riding on this, the fact that we're playing Charter Oak at Charter Oak, and then the fact that it's a playoff game in Division 7, which is the highest, Rio's ever been in. And then just the way the game went with all the twists and turns, all the ups and downs, had to be, for those in the stands watching, an emotional roller coaster like it was for us, even though you don't really think about that when you're coaching, you're just kind of going the next play. And so you wrap that all up and the emotion is just crazy. Multiple people said, hey, how you doing on Saturday? And I'm like, man, it's still on cloud nine. I slept for 2 hours, but I felt great, and it's just so that was it. And just so happy for our guys, to really get that moment, get that experience. And then number 2, just the Rio family and how proud they are of everybody and the guys. And so it was just a great win for the program and the guys on the team, especially.
You said it last week. It was a game for the past, the present, and the future of RHP football. I couldn't agree more. This win, I think JT Parker told me on the sideline, this win was for everyone who had teammates in junior high in Rio who ended up going to other schools, going to bigger schools for bigger and better things. What could have been. This game, I mean, it was about the kids Friday night, the current team, but it really did feel like the win was for so many RHP players before them and the players going forward. Yeah.
And I think the past players can take pride in it, because this wasn't just a one-off, we got this great group. This was an RHP team through and through. And this win was built on the shoulders of all those great past teams and all those great past players, all those great past coaches who've made RHP football what it is. And so of course it's great for the guys now, and it's great but I think that point is well taken and well made. And then for the future, our goal is to be playing teams like that year in and year out. And in this new playoff format, we aren't going to have a choice if we want to win championships. And so we got to figure that out. And it's going to come down to getting the guys into our school, where we can make that happen. Where we're, when you think San Gabriel Valley football, we're one of the top teams that come to your mind. That's the goal. So.
Yeah, you don't have to say anymore. Hey, where'd you go to high school? I went to this small private school in Arcadia that you probably never heard of. No, now when people ask, you say it probably, Rio Hondo Prep. They're like, oh yeah, we heard of you guys. Because that's how it should be. It's a brand. I mean, the shirt says it all. I mean, the crest. Mark, you've believed in Rio Hondo football and this type of game a long time. When people said we couldn't go 11-man, you were at the forefront saying, yes, we can. And we're never going back to 8-man. We can not only compete, we can win championships. We've done that. You believed in playing bigger schools, public schools. Maybe you didn't believe in a Charter Oak necessarily, but when it came down to it, you did. You didn't doubt.
Yeah.
You knew what the team was capable of.
Yeah. And we knew it was a narrow path to victory. And there's certain things that we had to do. And we did them, we didn't turn the ball over, which was huge. One of the biggest plays in the game was a bobbled snap that Damien just fell on. Actually got a yard on that. That was they had swung the momentum back their way, and that would have been a real killer to give them the ball back there. And we got ahead, which we thought we had to do. and made them play catch up. We made the big plays we had to make, which was awesome. We put drives together, which kind of shortened the clock, limited their possessions. And then, man, we just held on for dear life, and that was just all guts. And yeah, it was just amazing to see.
The key moments to me were late on the third down conversion, where you guys needed 2 yards, the fourth down conversion where you needed 1 yard. You didn't get it by much. It was like just enough. And to me, your running backs were phenomenal. McCullough got some tough yards. JG was fighting through injuries. Gio was unbelievable all night. But Mark, in that final drive, and I know it didn't end the way you wanted it to. You don't have to talk about that. But the offensive line, to me, made a statement. Those guys have been playing all game, all 5 of them, tight end, everyone included.
Both ways.
Those guys said in that moment, we're winning this game. We are going to get a yard, 2 yards. And it wasn't flashy. It wasn't super attractive. It was a cloud of dust. But when you guys crossed the line to gain, the crowd roared. I was like, this is football right here. This is what football is all about. Yeah,
it was awesome. And they, first of all, Randy called the game of his life.
Unbelievable.
And it's not, it's a run play. It's not just any run play. He's picking from a menu of dozens of run plays to go into at that moment and picking the right one based on how they're defending us and who's running the ball well and how we're blocking and so forth. And just, the linemen up front, Ray, Jaden, Paul, Royal, Calvin, Colby, all those guys who were playing both ways and just battled, dude, all night against D-line that was fresh. Not only were they only playing one way, they were rotating guys on D-line. And their D-line was good. No one's run the ball on them all year, essentially. I mean, you watch the Glendora tape and they shut down Glendora's run game. And so that was just sheer will and determination on their part. And the drive did what it had to do. We would have liked to get that conversion, just kneel it out, but it at least it cut down the amount of time they had to score. And so rather than kind of pound the ball like they might have wanted to, they felt they had to throw, and that kind of played into our hands and how it ended with the interception and stuff. So it was good. We've had drives like that in the past. I remember, who was it? Man, like a semifinal game at Rio, or maybe in a final game.
Is it Salesian maybe or something like that?
Mission Prep, Salesian, those years where we don't score at the end of a long drive in the fourth quarter, but we march it down, take away a bunch of clock, and then they got to scramble at the end and they feel like got to get 70 yards and they panic, So, and that all those moments, as a staff that you've been together and you've gone through them, it all comes back. And even though you're not thinking, this is just like Mission Prep in 2000, it's like it's back in your head somewhere, and we know how to play it. And we're like, all right, here's what we're going to do. And so we'd like to think that all that gathered knowledge and that experience pays off, in games like this.
I don't know how you guys ran the ball sometimes. It looked visually like Charter Oak had like 13 guys in the box. They were up there. I'm going, how are they getting any yards here? So it's a tribute to your guys, the coaching staff. Mark, we have so much to get to. So
they stacked the box. I'll let you get to that. But my run instruction on that last drive, I usually stay out of the offensive huddle, but I'm like, Randy, we're not throwing the ball. We're not throwing the ball. And so do whatever you got to do, but we're not throwing the ball. That's all I say.
I love it. Mark, I got emails, messages, voicemails. We got to get to all this here. First of all, Dave Diaz just commented on the Facebook live video. He says, I think Mark Carson will go down as one of the elite coaches in the San Gabriel Valley. So much respect for him and his coaching staff. Mr. Diaz, a former football player for Rio, of course, a great leader in his time. He also had a comment on Facebook, one of the videos that I wanted to mention to you as well, since he mentioned there. Dave Diaz said, there's not enough said about the RHP coaching staff. Their commitment to this program and the attention to detail is what I feel is the secret to the RHP football program success. I get the unique opportunity to stand on the sidelines and hear the interactions, the strategy, and sometimes the discipline. Parents should know and be proud that their kids are getting the best role models anyone could ask for. Respect the prep.
Hey man, appreciate that, Dave. And yeah, he's his daughter's in our school, and just as a fan, he comes to all our games. So he's one of the guys we love having on our sideline, and he loves being there. Man, that's again just it's a staff thing. I think we have the best staff around, and it's built on the shoulders of the guys in the past, and from Mr. Dowd, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Drain, and all the assistants who've come through. We're just kind of taking their blueprint, tweaking it a little bit, and doing it the Rio way. And so, that's all we're doing. But appreciate that.
I asked for a lot of reactions from fans, emails, voicemails, and I got a lot, Mark. So your nephew, Kyle Horton, he tuned in. He said, "This is Kyle Horton from the broadcast team with Clark Bollinger," and we both agreed. Love those guys, by the way. We both agreed this game was the single most special and important non-championship game in the history of the program. Absolutely unreal for this team and this school. Couldn't have asked for a better game. Very well said, Kyle. Uncle Mark, your response?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. You can't. It's hard to put a first round playoff win over a championship game or anything like that. But I'm not going to disagree with that. I think that's for the fans. It's made for interesting discussion. That's for the fans and past players to discuss. But the cool thing is that everyone, and we saw this Friday night, everyone is just supportive and everyone to see us do well. There's no, not that I would expect it, but there's no jealousy or anything from past teams or anything like that. Everyone's just on board and pushing for us to move forward. And they all feel a part of it too. They feel like that win was for them too, I think, in a way. So
big time. Well, Mark, I'm not the only Hersema man who has a few opinions about the game Friday night. I'm going to give you back-to-back voicemails here from my dad, Dave Hersema, and then one from my brother, Sam Hersema, from the class of 06, CIF champion in 05, I might add. Here's a couple messages from the Hersema men.
This is Dave Hersema, and I want to congratulate the kids for their big win against Charter Oak. Very proud of you. Go Rio.
Go Rio, indeed. My dad,
Matt, what a freaking game, man.
Sorry. Jumped ahead there, Mark. Okay, here we go. Here is Sam Hersema.
Thank you, Mr. Hersema.
Congrats, gentlemen. Apologies for the voice. I was there screaming my head off for you guys. It's a sweet victory, especially against Charter Oak, especially on their field. I had a great time watching you guys dominate the clock. Time of possession was amazing. I think you had plus 20 minutes. Great coaching, great offensive line, great defense, great game management. Good job, gentlemen. Get that next one.
Spoken like a true offensive lineman, Mark. My brother, Sam Hersema, playing hurt. You could hear the voice there, man. He was loud.
Yeah, love it, Sam. And appreciate Mr. Hersema, Sam, for your support all season, through the decades, and just love that the loyalty that they represent and that they show. So much love to you guys. Yeah, the time of possession, and we had to kind of prep the guys before. We're like, guys, we're not going to have 2-minute drives this week, 3-minute drives, because most of the season we would score in less than 2-3 minutes, almost all our drives. And we told them, guys, this is a good thing. Okay, it's gonna squeeze them. It's gonna shorten the game. We got to be prepared to have long, drawn out drives, and we got to take care of the ball and be able to move it at 3-4 yards at a time. And that's what we did. And so it actually played into our hands, and it was, And defensively, we gave up yards, but I think the guys and some big chunk plays, which you hate, and that kind of, I think, lets people know, like, man, when you don't get it right, this is what happens against teams this explosive. And so you kind of appreciate that. When you don't get your fits right or your gaps right or your coverages right, whatever, this is what they can do. But the guys made the plays when they had to make them. And that's what really defensive football is about, is making the plays when you got to make them. And so they did that.
Yeah, 37-30, it feels, really high scoring game. But I mean, it was a couple of plays, busted coverage early. Jakari Black, he's unbelievable football player for Charter Oak. I mean, he knifed through you guys and he's gone. And you're right. One minor mistake. It really shows you how important team football is. John Lee sent me a photo and it was, I think, who was it? Aaron Size, number 21.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little defensive back. And he's got the Charter Oak lineman coming at him. And he said something along the lines of, this photo exemplifies what RHP football is all about. Did you see that photo, Mark?
Yeah, I saw it. That's Aaron, who plays one of our hybrid players, position guys. He's an overhang guy. We call it Rover. Probably about $140 and he had a guy, big lineman. I'm guessing 280, 290 bearing down on him. and with the running back, with the ball coming right at him. I would have loved to see the photo from the other side and see Aaron's eyes. It's like, what, that looked like, but I don't even know what play that was from, but I'm sure Aaron took on the block like he was supposed to and kept his outside arm free, forced him back inside, and someone was there to clean it up from the backside. I mean, that's what I hope.
Taking the Giants on head up, as John Lee said. John Lee also sent in a message for you. I'm telling you, we're all over the place today. We got messages from all kinds of fans. He said, ask Coach Carson if kneeling at the 1 yard line was something coached at some point in the season, or is it just a player thinking mid-play? I would have made it a 2-touchdown game personally, but if he was heady enough to be thinking about the clock to make that decision with nothing but glory in front of him, I tip my hat to the young man. Of course, talking about the game-sealing interception by your senior leader, Damian Diaz. Yeah,
our quarterback and corner, Damian Diaz, he actually had some help. If you see the film, Gio Ortega is running alongside him and telling him, hey, get down. But that might have been something we talked about, preseason or way back. Hey, if we have this, and we might have relayed an old war story about when this kind of thing happened, but it's not something we were talking about like before that play, or like we were, hey guys, if you intercept it, we were hoping just to get a stop and get out of there. And so just an ultimate heady Rio Hondo thing to do. And what can I say? And yes, we go up 14, it's probably okay, but they could score quick, get in onside and score quick, which they obviously did. Multiple game, score quick touchdowns. This sealed it. It put a cap on it, and there was no way for them to win the game. And so I loved it. And
it summed up so much. So first of all, let's get one thing straight. Rio Hondo beat Charter Oak by 2 touchdowns on Friday night. Let's just make that very clear to everybody. But it was unbelievable, Mark. What's that?
That's the one thing we didn't get out of it. What might have been nice, but no. Yeah.
Him running with the ball in the air was awesome. Yeah. Ron Bazuzzi, he said, he had his son there, watching the game. He says, when he took it to the 1 yard line, he says, I turned to my son and said, that was the most unselfish play I've seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah, it was. And he could have run in the end zone, celebrated, gone crazy and all that, and had the headlines of the game sealing touchdown. But that's not what the Rio way. And that's not what Damian's about. He's just a true leader. And it was just really cool.
Yeah. Damian was, it was awesome. It was like, to think of that in that situation. I mean, as a 17-year-old kid, I got to tell you, I wouldn't have thought that way. I know how I am even now as a 36-year-old.
I saw a college game yesterday, exact same situation, and their guy took it in. And lo and behold, the other team did get the ball back, score, and get it onside. And so it's like,
wow,
it was like he's beyond that level, so it's just crazy.
Yeah, I hope the Charter Oak faithful saw that and were like, okay, this team is extremely not just well coached, but they got players who are coaches themselves.
Coach Farrar texted about that after the game. And
say it again.
Coach Farrar did text about that after the game, and he was just he didn't text a long text, but he just said, hey, congrats. Said a few other things, and his last thing was, we're believers. So that's cool.
Yeah, I have a source who may have seen them after the game Friday night, just happened out and about. And his words were they looked a little shell-shocked, but I do know to Coach Farrar, classy individual, that, his mother just recently passed away as well, the grandmother of the quarterback of Charter Oak. So, our hearts are with them. And of course, the late, great Lou Farrar passed away recently. So a lot on their mind. And
Right.
Nothing but respect for the Charter Oak program.
Nothing but class, nothing but respect for them. And yeah, we wish them well.
Damian was a phenomenal leader on Friday night, engineering drives. You know, it's not easy running that off. You don't throw a whole lot. He made one great throw to Ryan McCullough, who was wide open. We'll get to that, I'm sure. But Damian impressed me with his leadership. He seemed calm. Mark, I love noticing things that other people don't. And I saw him personally go to the officials, talk to them in a moment of the game. He was calm. He was away from his team. They weren't getting it. He was getting some clarity. So I liked that. But there was a moment on Damian's play that I don't know if anyone noticed yet. And I don't know if we're going to have Paul Elena on the program later today or not, but your senior captain, Paul Elena, did something that I don't think anyone noticed on Damian's big play. All eyes were on Damian, the interception, running down the field. Rio has won the game. And wouldn't you know it, towards the end of the play, Paul Elena kind of making his way down the field. There's this distraught quarterback on the ground. And real quickly, real briefly, just helps him up, taps him on the helmet, and goes about his business. So I have mad respect for guys who absolutely get it. Last year in the Rose Bowl, a few of your players went and shook hands with a Poly player who was injured on the sideline. Paul Elena, that's not getting in a headline. Probably no one even saw it. But to me, I was like, that's a Rio Hondo Prep football player. You're getting after this guy all night. You don't want to injure him, but you want to put him on the ground. But in that moment, the biggest celebration moment of the game, and Paul Elena does something like that, that is a leader to me.
Yeah, and just recognizing a football player to a football player, a man to a man, that he's going through something on his side, obviously, and devastating moment for him. And just to do that, I think is really cool. And I think it spoke to the respect we have for Charter Oak. After the game, it was all class in the handshake. We were all at In-N-Out. They probably had half their team at In-N-Out. There's no problems. It was all good, so that's cool though. And that's just the kind of guy Paul is. They don't call him the apostle for nothing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I couldn't get a hold of him. So I hope you can have him on next week.
Okay. But no worries. I saw that play.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to talk to this guy. Ray Montez will be great. He's on later. Talk to him Friday night, briefly interview the kid. Again, you have so many players that just are real football guys.
Yeah. He had a great game. Yeah.
I can't wait to talk with him. Your vice principal, Edwin Ixta, who was dressed sharply, by the way, Friday night. Nice hat, Edwin. He sent a lot of tweets, but he said something that I wanted to take note of. He said, let's set something straight. RHP has just 71 students in high school. 39 of those students are boys. Max Preps lists 28 players on the roster, but one of those players left our school a few weeks back. Out of the 27 players that suited up on Friday, 15 played tonight. Offense, defense, and special team. Mark, you played the game with 15 players.
Yep. 15 guys stepped on the field.
That's unbelievable.
Maybe 15. Yeah. That was crazy. And that's just speaks to our guys. They're warriors. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. The game was won a long time ago, Mark, I think, in the summer in that weight room. It wasn't one Friday night. It was one months ago. And I thought your post-game speech kind of summed that up too. Let's see here. Where do we go from here? Okay. Only a couple more. And so when you see Paul Elena, man, definitely give him some props and recognize that, because that was phenomenal. Fred Monteblanco. This was a great email he sent me. Class of 05, a great football player himself. He was over there in kind of the alumni area on the sideline. Those guys were loving the football game. Kind of a long one here, but I'll let you respond right away, Mark. He says, being able to go back to Rio and watch your alma mater play is truly special. It doesn't matter how many years have gone by or how many decades. Every single person that has graduated Rio knows exactly what those kids are feeling in that moment. All the hard work and preparation that goes into being a football player. The kids change year after year, but the body of work and the message is always the same. It truly makes me proud to have the privilege to say I was a football player once at Rio Hondo Prep. I want to take this time to congratulate Coach Mark Carson and company on the phenomenal job. They really have taken the program to the next level. These young men are tough. You can see the love they have for each other, and they exemplify everything it is to be a Kare. It's euphoric to say the least, and the brotherhood they have is genuine. Go Rio. P.S. That pick to end the game has to be one of the top 5 plays in RHP history.
Yeah. Oh man. what a message from Fred. And yeah, great football player, man. Fred was a great player in his own right. And it's great to see him there Friday. I couldn't have said it better myself. And that's just encapsulates everything. And he gets it. That's the cool thing. Everyone gets it. And so, you know, our fans, our former players, our alumni watching the game, they all understand. And that's why I think it was a win for the Rio family, man. And so couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks, Fred. Yeah, absolutely.
2 more voicemails. Speaking of alumni, let's get 2 instant reaction voicemails from a couple of RHP alums. Dave Ramos, who is, law enforcement. God bless you, Dave. And Zach Stiver, 2 great football players from Rio. First, we'll go with Dave Ramos, who I got a chuckle out of this one, Mark. So we'll see what you think. Here is Dave Ramos.
Rio Hondo Prep football, let's go. Amazing win tonight, boys. So proud of you guys. So thankful I was able to come out there and see you guys play tonight. Got this old guy all fired up. Tweaked my back, twisted my ankle, almost passed out from yelling too hard. Probably not going to be able to talk tomorrow. But it was an amazing game. You guys played your hearts out. Came out with the dub when everybody said you guys couldn't. Every single RHP football player that came before you, we're proud of you guys. Keep it up. Come back on Monday. Go back to the grindstone. Put in the work. And try to get another dub next week. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Much love.
Dave Ramos, man. You know, Mark, it's a big game when the alumni show up in the Letterman jackets. I got to tell you.
Yeah. From Victorville, right? Does he live up there? Yeah. Made that drive, which I'm sure on a Friday wasn't easy. Yeah. So cool to see all these guys. And just the tie-in and the brotherhood that goes back decades, you know, is just really cool. And just appreciate all the support. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And
One final voicemail from Mr. Zach Stiver, a 2-time CIF champ, a great lineman. I thought it was a good way to end the voicemails with Zach here, Mark, and then we'll talk more about the game. But here is Mr. Zach Stiver.
Matt, what a freaking game, man. I couldn't be prouder of those guys that played, coaching staff. I mean, what a win for the program. You know, we've had big games before, but this was definitely a big area win for us. And the craziest thing is it's only the first round. And we've got the quarterfinals next Friday at home, which is going to be awesome. But I couldn't be prouder, you know, of the guys that played on the field last night. I mean, they showed such heart, and that's what RHP football is all about, man. It's about going out there and exceeding expectations and winning championships. And you know, we got one step closer on Friday. So, congrats to Mark, coaching staff, Mr. Johnson, all those guys, boys on the field. You know, Ryan. JG, Gio, Damon, I couldn't be prouder, man. So we'll see you next Friday night, round 2, baby. Let's go.
Thanks a lot, Zach.
Thanks, Zach. Man, yeah, Zach actually came and watched practice Wednesday night, which was cool. And in the area, I'm like, absolutely, come by. So yeah, man, another great football player, and just carrying on the tradition that you guys set, guys, and all the great coaches, all the great players that have come before us, and that's all we're trying to do.
This is my recruiting pitch, Mark, for Rio. So many great alumni who go on to do great things after high school, but you're going to get great support at Rio Hondo Prep. And you said it months ago, anyone who goes to Rio Hondo Prep, you're not going to get a better high school experience with all the different things you do than going to Rio Hondo Prep. So for those that are hesitant or whatever, I mean, I encourage anyone who's on the fence or parents. I mean, your kid's going to get a great experience.
Get a great experience. And talk to Zach or talk to any of our alumni and ask them. And that's special and that's cool. Yeah.
Something else that was special, Mark, was one of your former players, former Covina Tiger. There was a ton of them out there watching, but I saw Brian Hunter specifically come over and talk to you. I mean, when you were coaching the Tigers, he was a stud player, and of course in high school at Charter Oak and college and beyond. But what was it like seeing one of your former players in Brian Hunter?
Yeah, first of all, I don't think I've ever seen a more crowded Letterman's jacket than that guy's. I didn't get any more room for any patches. Phenomenal athlete, was in Kare starting it when he was 5 years old. I was fortunate to coach him, I think 6 years in Kare. Really my whole coaching tenure, I kind of moved up with him and that team. Nick Gonzalez, Will Tarico, a bunch of guys like that. And yeah, it was cool. That was just one of the cool tie-ins. You had a lot of the Kare connection too. And so Adam McClure, who was on one of those guys I coached, he came up from San Diego. The Charter Oak Kare guys, a lot of them were at the game. And I think they were probably rooting for Charter Oak, but they weren't too disappointed how it turned out and that we won. And so they all came up and gave me some love after the game, and that was really cool and great to see them. So another cool thing about that game Friday night.
Yeah, Nick Fuentes, one of my former Kare Youth League teammates, he went to Charter Oak, won a championship there, and he had I think a nephew play at Rio, Jake Lyons, a few years back. So he was kind of, either way, but he understood. So it was just stuff like that was awesome. Mark, I got to ask, the special teams are huge. Gio was unbelievable. I think a lot of people were asking and scratching their heads, maybe commenting from the stands even, with the whole onside kick thing. What was the thinking behind just pretty much giving Charter Oak half a field all night?
Yeah. Well, we knew the return men were dangerous, which you saw when 13 or 4 got in space, or 6 even, 5. I don't know how many guys they had that they get in space, they're dangerous. And as a fan who saw our game the week before, our kicker is injured. And so we were going with Gio, who's never comes out of the game and is our backup kicker, kind of emergency kicker anyway, to start with. So we didn't really have a chance to, we're not going to kick the ball in the end zone anyway. Our guys are playing both ways. Why sprint down 60 yards, chase them around for they'll probably get to about the same spot anyway? Why not just save us a dead sprint, save us a chance of getting popped on a return, and we get a chance we might get the ball. And so that was the thinking. And, it was strategic is what we thought we had to do. And we figured, that was kind of what went into it. And we thought we might get 1 or 2, but credit to them. They had athletes over there who made good plays on those kicks. And we're like, man, I didn't catch that. But that was the thinking behind it. So
no, you almost got a few, and I know people are pulling their hair out, but there's reasoning behind it. And I get it. It doesn't look great, but you got to do what you got to do. I want to thank Charter Oak, first of all. I have to thank them. I don't know if it was a pride thing or what. Why they kicked the ball to Gio Ortega multiple times is beyond me. He had to have over 200 yards in the return game. Of course, the 92-yard touchdown return was huge, but they kept kicking it to him, Mark. Yeah,
I think it was probably their disbelief in their special teams guys and their kicking game, and we appreciated that.
Mark, what is the reasoning? This is something you've done over the years, really. It's just kind of something that Rio always does. If you get that offside on the PAT, you go to the 1.5. More often than not, you decide to go for 2. You went for 2 early in the game.
Yeah.
After that offside, what is the reasoning behind going for 2 when you get the ball at the 1.5 yard line on a PAT?
Well, I think we're probably perfect on those, so it's a sure 2 points. So, we're like, and teams, for whatever reason, always fall for it until they jump offside. And so we're happy to, okay, we're going to go for it. And it's almost a sure thing. We think we can always get 1.5 yards.
Mm-hmm. You often do. And it's crazy. It's a dominant run usually towards the middle of the field there. But I love that. You guys, the hard count all night. Damian, I don't know how many offside penalties you guys drew. 6. Wow. Yeah. And it started early. And to me, it kind of put Charter Oak in a position where they had to be a step slower, just slow them down a bit, getting off the ball.
Yeah. Gives our guys a chance to hit them. And they did a great job on that. And Damian, again, his leadership, great job on that. We have a drill we like to do at the end of practices where Damian, the quarterbacks, are calling the snap count on our sprints, just 10-yard sprints, 20-yard sprints, whatever. And we call it game winners. And the thinking is, big game, you got to do this. You got to be able to, be disciplined on defense, not go off, and then on offense, stay still and fire off when you're supposed to fire off. So it's fun to see stuff like that come to fruition. And guys, it was a big part of winning the game. So
huge part, just 5 yards at a time, but it was more than that. And it was like, okay, Rio's been coached up here. Charter Oak's not ready for this. I was going to comment on this, but Fred Montablanco beat me to it here on our Facebook Live. He says fourth and goal from the 8 to start the game. And we go for it. And then we go for 2. What a way to say we are here to play tonight. Mark, I don't know if you know anything about analytics or whatever, but 4th and goal from the 8, you usually don't go for that. What was the reasoning there to start the game?
Oh, we thought we could get to the edge, and it's based on how they came out defending us. And we were there to, we told the guys we had a terrorist mentality. We had nothing to lose. We were going to win it, and we were playing to win the game. And so we knew we needed touchdowns to win. Field goals weren't going to get it done. So we said, we're going for it.
Yeah. Go all in, go for it. And that was wild. I mean, I was right in the corner there as JG ran over, and that was huge statement to go for it and get it. And I said the same thing before. I said, well, 3 points are going to win this game. So tribute to you guys. We talked about the trenches. Mark, I hear your family there and everything. So many people were hugging you after the game. You and I hugged. We didn't say any words, just a quick hug. Words didn't need to be said, but I did see your family there on the sideline, come on the field. What does it mean to see your wife and kids on the field after a game like that?
Yeah, it's cool, man. Just brings it all home. And, don't have any bigger support or fans than Claudia and my girls. And but that goes for all the kids, all the players, all the coaches, everyone's family were there. And so to share a moment like that, a lifetime type moment, you're always going to forget it. We make sure we got a picture. You're never going to forget it. You're always going to remember it. Make sure to get a picture. So it was special. And all the guys, we love giving them time to take pictures and just to remember that. So we think it's really cool. And yeah, it was special.
I saw your parents in like the first row of the bleachers there. It was awesome to see your dad come out for the game.
Bundled up. Yeah.
Bundled up. Big Covina game in Covina, Charter Oak. I mean, everyone had to be there, and it was phenomenal. I did see Dave Drain. I had some Instagram comments that brought about a sign that Charter Oak posted on their field about an easy dub. I don't like bulletin board material, so I don't know why Dave did that, but hey, you guys got the sign and took a few photos with it afterwards.
I did not take the picture, but some of the guys dug it out of the trash and did that. That was hilarious. And I'm hoping Dave, and Dave's Dave, he's a character, an awesome coach, super smart. He called that touchdown pass to McCullough. That was his call. But hoping that's a one-off and we don't really do that again. But once he did it, it was like, all right, here we go. And it might have played mind games with them too. It's like, do you guys really think they can win? And then we get ahead and they're like, I think they really do think they can win. And maybe it worked in our favor. So thanks, Dave. But let's keep that. Let's not do that again.
Yeah. I like the talking, the celebrating, all that stuff after when the clock goes to 000s. I feel much better about talking about the program. It's like,
love it. Yeah, Joe. Yeah.
The kids were loving it. For sure. I was like, what's the backstory on this? Why did they have a Dave Drain sign over there? But Mark, it's 8:45. I mean, do you got to go here soon, or you got a couple minutes?
I can stick around a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you have some plays you want us to look at, let me try to pull this up here.
So I have the kickoff return, touchdown, the 4th down stop, the touchdown pass, and then the interception. I don't know which one of those you want, but I got the play numbers for those.
Let's go with the kick return.
That's play 40.
Play 40. All right, the basic and the screen. Let's try that. Okay, Mark, you should be seeing me now.
Got it.
You got the screen? Okay, cool. Yeah. So play 40. Charter Oak just scored on the busted coverage play we talked about. They answer, they just kicked their extra point. So they got it to 8-7. And I believe, I could be wrong. Phil, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
and then this happens. They happen to kick the ball to a young man, Gio Ortega.
Yeah. And this is a great return. You see it was a fake toss. And Gio does a great job hiding the ball behind his hip. And we fake the handoff to Ryan, who fakes a toss, I believe, to Calvin. So guys go with him, which gives you just enough space for Gio to get through. And with his speed, he's gone. And so this is something that we hadn't been able to do a whole lot this year because very few teams would kick to us. But I think Charter Oak, they had the swag and the confidence to think that they're going to cover on anybody. And And so they probably they might not even seen this on film. I don't know. I'm not sure. And so they went for the fake you see here. And
so Gio has the ball here. You got McCullough in the middle with his back. Guerrero's leading the charge here. You got Johnson who's coming around for a fake pitch afterwards. So Gio fakes the handoff to Ryan. Ryan squatting like that gives the illusion that he does have the ball.
Yeah.
And then fakes a pitch. Calvin, sorry to interrupt, Mark. Calvin throws his hands up like he's receiving a pitch. It's all these little things that, manipulate the eyes. And so Gio has the ball behind his back.
Yeah. And then gives him a step. It just gives him a step.
One step. Fake.
Yeah. And then whoop, right through there.
Oh no. And Mark, I want to say about Gio, he looks great against small schools, and you always wonder, how talented is this kid? How athletic is he? How does his speed match up to regular, not regular schools, but big schools and such? Mark, I think he's an elite athlete at any level.
Yeah, he's so fast. He runs like a gazelle, man. And this his stride length is what I think is deceptive. And he gets by you, and he's gone. And he played the whole game. He went in at Tiger when JG was cramping up, and he got popped a couple times. But he did not come out, and is just an amazing athlete, an amazing player, and an even better human being. He's just a great guy.
Mark, check out the alumni down here in the corner. Fred Monteblanco, Dave Ramos. Yeah. Look at these guys.
Taking the film.
Escort. Got a little escort to the end zone here with Gio.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's cool.
That was huge for the side. You guys erupted. I mean, that was awesome. That play.
It was a heavyweight fight. So, they slugged us, we slugged them, and it was just back and forth. That was just kind of the way the game went.
Definitely. I mean, Charter Oak comes down, you're thinking, okay, big and bad, and split through them, and good night. I love it, man. Look at the sideline bouncing. I mean, this is phenomenal. You got coaches getting some air, and then again, our alumni corner down here. Fred. There's the Ramos brothers. That's what it's all about, man. Steve Almond just commented on our Facebook Live. He goes, yeah, that's where Dave Ramos hurt his ankle down there.
Probably rolled it.
Yeah.
Jumped down, yeah.
Okay, that's a big kick return. What else you got for me, Mark?
So we had a 4th down, play 51, a big 4th down stop. I don't know if that's not super significant. It was kind of significant, but it wasn't late in the game. And then maybe just go to the touchdown, play 88 with McCullough, or you can go 4th down stop, play 51.
Yeah, here it is. It kind of got to it late, but 4th. Was this 4th? No, this is
4th. Play 51.
Oh, it's 51. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got 51. No, 51 is 1st and 10, it looks like.
Oh, shoot. Maybe keep going. Maybe it's this drive. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, 53.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, 4th and 2. Here we go.
Okay,
so
4th and 2.
Yeah, they're going for it. And just the early momentum swing, and they had their we call that jumbo package with 2 tight ends and 1 running back. And so we based on our scouting, we thought, we were pretty sure they were going to run right here. And our guys identified that early. And,
3 down linemen, as always, and the 4-point stance, which is something you guys do for leverage and such. Basically 5 linebackers, 3 backers, and 2 hybrid kind of position players there.
Yeah, and they Paul gets in the backfield and knives down, goes down the line of scrimmage, and makes the play. And that was just huge.
Well, and if you look here, Mark, Roy Young, right here in the middle, his first step really starts to wreak havoc on this play. Paul gets in there and gets the glory there, but from your nose guard here, watch Royal Young. He beats the pole there, and it just kind of messes everything up from the start.
Yeah, disrupts it. And I'm sure we were bringing the house right here. So
yeah,
great play by Paul. So happy for Paul, to have the senior year he's having, and he's just, he's having so much fun. He talks about it all the time. But you see Paul kind of stunned with our Sam linebacker, with Calvin, And you see Calvin took his gap, Paul switched gaps with them, and he got in there.
Calvin gets a double team. You got Gio coming in to clean it up. I mean, this is just team defense right here.
Swarming to the ball.
Huge play back to, I mean, you guys got the ball at midfield. To me, that's as good as a turnover, Mark.
Yeah. Just like a turnover, getting the ball at midfield. And I think it let them, kind of know that we're about it. And we're not going to get pushed around.
Yeah. What I talked to you about is, there was no fluke to this. It was nothing, you guys got lucky or you physically dominated the game, gave up some big plays, we know, but still, it was physical game. Okay, Mark, to your offensive.
Football, usually the best team always wins. The better team, you can't really fake it. So
no, not at all. All right, what was the big McCullough touchdown play?
88.
This was a backbreaker. Jonathan Guerrero, he had come out of the game, and Ortega goes to Tiger, and not 88, Mark. Oh, I'm sorry. I might be on the other feed.
Oh, you might be. Oh, that's why we're off a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's going to be somewhere near that.
What was the play called?
It was a Fox wheel, I think. So it's going to be in the high 80s or low 80s, mid 80s.
Okay. Yeah. That's,
you were a few off. Maybe it's 50, maybe 91 or something.
91. Okay. We'll find it, guys. But Guerrero goes out of the game. Charter Oak loads up the box, Mark, thinking, well, they're going to run. We're going to stuff them here. And then you said Dave Drain called this play?
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Johnson, Randy calls the plays, but Dave suggested it. And they paid a lot of attention to Calvin all night. And he had a hard time getting open. You see, they follow him, they follow Gio. And then, I think I was looking on the other one. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. I'll go to that one. That way there's no, it was Damien's only pass completion of the night, Mark. And Jonathan had just come out, his first of 3 cramps and such. And so take me through the play here and what Dave Drain saw, why he made this call.
Yeah, so we knew they were grabbing Calvin, our tight end, all night and paying a lot of attention to him because he's had some big catches in our last few games, and those are the films they were going off of. And so Calvin just couldn't get open like he usually does. And then Gio, of course, they had their eyes on him. And Ryan just slips out on the play action, kind of chips this guy to make it look like he's blocking like he always does. And then he's wide open, and Damien puts it on a rope, doesn't float it. It's time to get under it. And Damien had some pressure too, so he had to get rid of it.
It was a really good throw. What else makes this play great, Mark, is your receiver out here. Is this Gio?
Yeah, it's Gio.
Oh, no, Gio's in the backfield. That's right.
Gio's in the backfield. That's might be Aaron.
Aaron. Him dragging kind of his defender away from the hash marks, leaves it wide open here. I'm assuming maybe man coverage here that they just forget about Ryan, which I don't know how you do, but that helps. That happens when you run the ball so effectively. Right.
Play action. And Calvin dragging across, drew a lot of attention.
Took the safety. Yeah. Again, they're keying on Calvin. And then there's McCullough just wide open. And then he showed his speed, took off running.
Yeah, it's clocked out 40, man. Caught it right on the 40.
Right towards the alumni. Something about that alumni corner, man. I got to tell you.
They had the best seat in the house, man.
And then watch the crowd reaction. That was my favorite too. It's just like, oh yeah, we're on, off and running. Charter Oak just looks shell shocked. Like, wait a minute, what? I thought they were going to run the ball. The only pass completion of the night, man. But it 58-yard touchdown pass. Yeah, Damien under a little pressure. He just sets his feet and boom. Outstanding call, Mark.
Yep.
Ryan McCullough played a great game all around defensively. Had some tough carries as well. So great win, man. St. Pius upcoming this weekend.
You want to watch the interception?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sorry. How could I?
This one is 146.
Okay. We got to see the pick. And of course, the amazing unselfish play by Mr. Damian Diaz. 146.
Yeah.
Okay. The what do we call this? It's not a pick six, maybe a pick knee, a pick.
We got to get a name. Yeah, we got to get a name for it. Well, let's call it the pick.
The pick, yeah. So let me get this out of the way. Okay, so here's Damian, bottom of your screen. Trips to the right, to the left of your formation, your coverage. We got 4th and 8, I think.
Yeah, and Damian's going to make the play. He's number 4 down here. Or really started it was McCullough with the pressure.
Absolutely.
And there's actually a flag there, so we were good either way. But McCullough brings the pressure and just gets the quarterback off his mark and has to start moving. And Gio's blitzing from the backside. And then we think we have it pretty well covered. And but that just the QB did a great job staying on his feet, but that pressure really got to him. And then obviously couldn't step into the throw. And Damian came up, made a great play. And then sprinting down the sideline, we're just going nuts on our side. We couldn't even see what was happening over there. But Gio must have been yelling at him, go down. And then he went down.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on either.
Yeah. So it was chaos.
Chaos for sure. Damian Diaz, let's see.
We had our field goal team running on. I'm like, guys, get off. We didn't score.
I know. I was like, wait a minute. What happened? Did he step out? Because he was clear sailing. He just steps forward, makes the play. And you can't see it, but the Charter Oak quarterback is on the ground, Mark, and Paul Elena comes. You could see it from one of the sideline videos if you want to see it. Okay. Paul Elena comes over and just it's real quick. It's something real quick. But Ed Drain says on that play call that if you play it with sound, the Charter Oak parents can't help but say, man, beautiful play design. But there goes our guy raising the ball up. Yeah, Gio saying, get down. Yeah. 2 headsy football players, Mark.
Yep. Headsy football players, great play. And it'll be a play that goes down in Rio history, I think. We'll talk about that one for a long time.
Absolutely. Well, Mark, thank you for joining me today. This has been a blast. Just watching the final couple of kneel downs here. Can't believe it happened, but it's real, man. Rio Hondo beats Charter Oak on their home field, and Charter Oak not using their final time out there, I thought was a classy move, just accepting defeat, and a huge win for the program, man.
Yeah, that was cool. They were all classy. It was cool on their part. Great night. Couldn't say enough about our support and all the love the guys got. And so appreciate RHP family like that. And yeah, hope to see you guys out Friday night for St. Pius X. This new format, every game is tough. So people ask me, how are they going to be? And I said, as good or better in Charter Oak. So get your voices ready and get there early and let's have a good game.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. A home game for you guys. They're very talented, athletic. I mean, you're going to be up for a tough test, and I hope the boys are ready. I know they will be. Mark, congrats on what arguably the biggest win in school history.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt. And thank you to everybody who's tuning in right now. Thank you to everybody who supports our program through thick and thin, and when you have a time like this, it's even, it's cool. And I can't say it enough that the support we get and how much we appreciate it. And Matt, what you've got going with this podcast and all the platform that you've created for the Rio family to connect. And I can't say enough for that. And, let's keep it rolling. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely, Mark. As you often say, whether it's RHP football or the podcast or whatever, hey, we're just getting started, man. We're just getting started.
Baby, let's go.
Hey, BTD, what'd you say? Brotherhood, toughness,
discipline. Yeah.
And discipline, kind of the motto of the season, right? And man, it was definitely on full display on Friday night, Mark. Congrats again. Enjoy your weekend, man, and go get them next week. Oh, I think we lost you for a second. It's all good. Okay. Take care, Mark. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, you there? Okay. Yeah,
I'm here.
My wife was driving out and the Bluetooth got hooked up for a second in the car. I think my phone connected to it.
Just listening to the podcast. No big deal.
Yeah. But yeah, so thanks for all you do, Matt. And it was great. So happy for our guys and their families, especially, and proud of our RHP and all our support is something that I think very few teams, schools have, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You got it, man. Take care, Mark. We'll talk to you next week. Go
Thanks,
Rio.
Matt.
Well, guys, we will continue our show here and be joined by Ray Montez here shortly, waiting for him to jump on the podcast. But Coach Carson, I mean, just a class act all around. Love chatting with him. Bill Ritter tuned in on the pod or on the Facebook Live, said, I really enjoyed the game and the show today. Thank you, Bill. My man, my teammate from back in the day. We would have loved an opportunity to play a team like this in Charter Oak local school. You can't say enough about it, what this game meant to the program on Friday night. I was speechless. I stayed up till 4 a.m. And was just on cloud nine. I was trying to read articles and watch videos of the game, rewatching things. I was just so fired up. And man, I was the biggest win in school history. I think it wasn't a championship game, I know, but to me, so much more was won than just a championship, than a game, I should say. Championship wasn't won, but it was just something to really be proud of, to be a part of, and in a small way. And I'm very appreciative for all the access that Mark gives me, as well as, the Rio Hondo Prep staff there and the faithful. It was great talking to Coach Ken Drain about the game. He was very funny, talking about, man, it's nervous. It's kind of nerve wracking when you don't have anything to do. You don't have plays to call or officials to talk to or anything like that. It's kind of nerve wracking just sitting around watching a game. And it's just funny to hear the legend. Let me see here. Oh, Bill Ritter, Matt, your show is so good. Thanks, Brill. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. This is a lot of fun doing this. And waiting on Ray Montez here. Maybe he slept in. We set the clocks back last night, and I did I set the clocks the night before because I like waking up to know what time it is for real. And I set the first 2 clocks forward rather than backwards. So I could have been 2 hours off today, but I corrected my mistake, set the clocks accordingly, and we're waiting on Ray here. He'll jump on here shortly. But thanks, Bill. Appreciate it. This has been so much fun, and just an opportunity to talk RHP football. And I think there's a hunger for it. There's a need for it out there, which is why we want to keep this thing going. Okay. Looks like Ray Montez has jumped in the waiting room. Let's bring him on now, the offensive lineman and linebacker for Rio Hondo Prep. Ray Montez, welcome to the show, man. You're on Facebook Live with the Get Home Safe podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Ray, you got a huge smile, much like you had on Friday night, man. It was fun talking to you briefly. I mean, what are you still emotions riding high? What does this win mean to you?
It means a lot to me. We worked in and put in our hard work all summer long, and just to come out and defeat Charter Oak, even though they had us as a big underdog. So it felt really good doing that.
Well, Ray, you're a guy that's in the middle of everything. You're a linebacker. You're an offensive lineman. I've been a big fan of your work over the past few years. You're just one of those tough football players that I think RHP is famous for. What do you make of the offensive line? All you guys on Friday night. I thought that's really where the game was won, was by the guys up front, yourself and your brothers.
Yeah, I really think we came out a hip first. So I really think we dominated that O-line right there, because even though they had a couple plays they got in, I'm pretty sure we dominated like 90-10%.
Yeah, you guys really dominated the time of possession. So, Ray, you guys weren't intimidated by those guys at all? I mean, they had some real big guys up front defensively, probably the biggest, toughest team you guys have played all season. You guys weren't intimidated at all by those guys?
I'm not sure about the others, but I was pretty intimidated. Just yeah.
An honest man. I love it. But you know what? It didn't show, Ray. You battled. You know what? There was a picture of one of your teammates, Aaron Size, who was taking on, the biggest dude they had out there, 78. And that is what RHP football is about, man, is playing bigger guys, stronger guys. What gave you guys confidence that you could compete in this game and ultimately win it?
Give us confidence. The first drive entering the game. First drive is like a statement to like everyone that we could actually like come out and put a beating on them.
Yeah, you guys went for it on 4th and goal from the 8, I think. And Coach Carson, I just talked to him. He was confident in you guys. JG had a great night. Is it when Jonathan Guerrero scores a touchdown or Ryan McCullough or Gio Ortega, do you as the lineman feel like, hey, we had a big part in that?
Yeah, always, because if they can't like run behind a good O-line, I'm pretty sure they're just gonna keep getting stuff. So yeah, it feels good when they score.
Do you remember the play, Ray, Gio, he went in to tail back for Jonathan, who was injured. Gio got stuck at the line. Like they got in there, stuck him pretty good, kind of stood over him. Should have been a penalty. There wasn't. But what I liked about Gio a few plays later, he finished off a run, a guy tackling him in front of your sideline. Gio put his head down, put his shoulder down. I don't want to see anybody hurt, but he physically took it to the Charter Oak guy after he got hit pretty hard. To me, that was a big moment where it was like, oh, wow, okay, Rio's not backing down.
Yeah, it was, because he got stuffed, and I was like, hey, you could bounce back from it. I told him just next play mentality. So I came out and told him, just worry about the next play, and he goes out and stuffs the kid.
Yeah, that was something else. You guys, it was like a boxing match, man. You guys punched and they punched back. It was such a fun game. What was your favorite part of Friday night? Did you have a favorite play or anything like that?
My favorite play was when Jonathan came out and he came back in. Then I'm pretty sure it was a blast 33. He came and ran. Looks like he was gonna get stuffed. He came out and he just bounced out and he scored a touchdown.
That was an amazing run. I mean, yeah, they were putting pressure there. Yeah, he hit Jonathan. I don't know how he does it, man. He spun out of it, got in the end zone. To me, that really was a tough one for Charter Oak to take, because you guys were like, you can bring it all you want. We're not backing down. So yeah, that was one of my favorite plays as well. Ray, did you grow up in the East or the West of Kare Youth League? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up West.
Okay. So how many of the teammates on the team were guys in the East? Do you know was there a few of them anyway?
I'm not really sure. Maybe like one or two.
Okay. So in most teams, there's a lot of guys in the East and West as well. But to go to kind of right next to Wingate Park and play Charter Oak, I mean, those guys, and you too, of course, all your teammates, were you guys fired up to play this game, Charter Oak, so close to Wingate Park?
Oh yeah, it was a big game for us because we wanted to like show out and tell them like who we are, because all of the Kare people move out all the way to Charter Oak and just like really forget about Rio Hondo Prep.
Well, you guys put them on the map. You know, there's a lot of people that didn't think you guys could do it on Friday. A lot of reporters and I'm sure so-called experts, but you guys believed. Coach Carson pushed you guys, your entire coaching staff. It's a tribute to you guys, Ray. You guys believed. What were some things that coaches were telling you guys all week? Coach Carson, maybe before the game, that really got you guys believing that you could win this game?
He told us we really got nothing to lose here because it's just going to benefit us anyway. So it's just like, yeah, I don't know how like I would want to say this, but he would text us like a terrorist mentality. We really got nothing to lose at that point. So just give it all we got.
No, I hear you. Yeah. No one will take that a weird way. That's just anyway. Good stuff. You guys had nothing to lose. It was a great game. You went out there, you balled out, and you guys played, violently. You played aggressive. I mean, it was so fun to watch. And you guys aren't done, Ray. You got another tough game this week. I mean, you were celebrating. Did you do anything special to celebrate the win? Maybe an In-N-Out burger or anything else this weekend?
In-N-Out burger after the game.
Nice. Yeah. I asked Calvin Johnson this. What's your go-to at In-N-Out? Everyone's got their own little order they like. What do you like to order?
Okay, so I order a double, grilled onions, no tomato, then animal style fries with a vanilla shake.
Oh my man, dude, you're making me hungry. That's a champion order right there, to throw in the shake at the end. Love it. Good stuff, man. Well, you definitely earned that meal on Friday night, man. That's awesome. Ray, what about Rio Hondo Prep, your experience there? What's it been like? Last year was kind of a weird year with COVID and everything. What has playing football at Rio Hondo Prep meant to you?
It really just gave me like a second family, because I came in a Rio Hondo Prep as a 7th grader, playing, maybe having 1 year of football under my belt. So then having them teach me and bringing me in was just like, with all love, it was just amazing, because I felt like I had another family there.
Yeah, no, that's very well said. And Ray, there's a lot of alumni like me who enjoy watching you guys and enjoy kind of, we were you at one point. You guys are much better than most of us ever were, but it's fun. Do you feel that alumni support from not just your families and fans, but do you feel that the alumni kind of cheering for you guys?
Oh yeah, big time, especially fourth quarter when I saw them all come down on the field. It just felt amazing because like they're all riding our back right behind us.
Definitely, man. Definitely. It's fun to cheer for guys in a uniform that you once wore. So man, we enjoy watching you guys. The past few years have been great. Ray, what about after high school for you? What do you have planned? College or kind of, I know it's early, you're still young, but do you have any initial thoughts about what you're going to do after high school?
Yeah, I'm trying to go into APU for computer science.
Okay, very nice. What do you want to computer science? You big video game guy, want to take that to the next level? I'm just kidding.
I'm just gonna try to get into like artificial intelligence and all that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. That is awesome. Outside of football, Ray, what are some of your hobby? What do you like to do? Maybe what are some of your classes you like to take? Do you play an instrument? What are some things outside of football that we should know about you?
I love playing sports and just having fun with my brother because he's little, so I like just having fun with him. Then I also like playing video games with my buddies.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. Well, Ray, you don't have to be told this, but high school goes quick. I mean, you're a senior now, and junior year was kind of weird with only 3 games. But you guys played in, I think, the biggest game in RHP history last night, a non-championship game anyway. And we're rooting for you guys to win a few more games here. I asked you that already about RHP football, what it's meant to you with the family and everything. Did you ever think that your senior year would get here so quickly? When you started at RHP as a freshman, you're thinking, oh, I got plenty of time. And all of a sudden the end is near, right? Has the time flown by?
Oh, easily. It's like what you said. It's just like I was just like, I'm not gonna worry about it. I have plenty of time, but like it came by really fast. 4 years.
Very much, man. Time flies as you get older too. Ray, what do you like? Rio Hondo players play both ways all the time. Offense, defense, special teams. What is your favorite thing to do? Do you like tackling people or do you like offensive line better?
I love tackling people.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Love blitzing. I mean, I talked to Jaden Sanchez last week or the week before. He definitely loves tackling people and he's fun. He's got to be a fun guy to play alongside.
Yeah, it's just like I always have he always has my back, so it's just like just us two going in trying to lay a boom on someone.
Yeah, you two guys are very similar. Your style, the way you play, it's really fun to watch you guys defensively. I mean, those dudes at Charter Oak were pretty fast though, huh? A few times they busted through the line.
Yeah, that was I just like I went in and I turned around and he's gone for a touchdown already. I was like, oh geez.
Well, you battled. Hey, what do you think about your buddy Damian Diaz, senior captain, quarterback, academy president? He makes the huge play at the end of the game, the interception, and then he goes to the 1 yard line, and Gio's telling him, "Hey, get down, get down." He stopped at the 1 yard line. What was your reaction to that?
I thought he had like the perfect IQ for that. It's just like we wanted to just get the game over with and just get out already. We wanted to just celebrate already.
Yeah, absolutely. Leave no doubt. He could have scored. He could have scored and gone up 2 touchdowns, but it was a smart play to just get down, take the knees, and the game's over. So pretty smart play there from your senior teammate. Let me see. Finally, Ray, you have an amazing senior class. Group of guys: Jonathan Guerrero, Gio Ortega, Paul Elena, Damian Diaz. I'll forget some names, I'm sure, but Calvin Johnson. What has it meant to play with this group of seniors? Because I got to tell you, from a guy who's just watching and not a part of it all, it's a very special group of seniors. What has this senior class meant to you to be a part of?
It feels amazing. It's just like having them with me. Like every sport, everywhere is just like we're always having fun with each other. So it's another brotherhood right there. It's just like I love it. It's like that. They're like my brothers to me. So
yeah, well, man, one more game for now, maybe more in the future. Keep playing hard, Ray. We're rooting for you guys. You guys are so fun to watch. Couldn't be proud of the effort you guys put out on Friday night, man. So thanks for coming on the podcast, man, and go get them next week.
Thank you.
All right, Ray. Take care, man. All right. Well, thank you to Ray Montez for coming on the Get Home Safe podcast. Another senior. We've gone through quite a few of them. I don't know if we'll get to all of them, but we're going to keep trying that as best we can. The RHP faithful out there definitely likes hearing from the players themselves, not just me rambling away. And Coach Carson, he's great, but there's something about the players, the kids who actually do it. So congrats to them on a huge win. A few more comments here on Facebook Live from Dave Diaz. Conditioning has to be a big part of RHP preparation. How much do coaches focus on conditioning, especially with only 15 guys on the field? Sorry, I didn't get to ask Coach Carson that, Dave, but I think it's a huge part of it. And it's something that kind of has been a tradition over the years to condition. When we went 11-man for the first time, I mean, that was a big deal. Like, oh, we have to play full games now, instead of the 40-point blowouts and such. So I do know that Mark has a great training program, conditioning that they start early on. It's not just football season, but the summer and beyond. Bill Ritter, Mike Lau is the all-time greatest in and out legend. Yes, for those that don't know, Mike Lau, one of our international students from Taiwan, was the senior class just above me as a junior, and actually a really good football player, as fast as could be. He loved tackling people. Had one speed. He had calves that were ginormous, and he was awesome. He was an awesome guy. But he was so hungry all the time. And we, us young men, we loved In-N-Out Burger. And one In-N-Out night after a game, Mike Lau orders a 10x10, the 3x3, the 4x4. He ordered a 10x10, and they made it for him. And it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. 10 patties, 10 pieces of cheese. Right. We all just gathered around and watched Mike Lau devour a 10x10. One of the greatest moments in my RHP athletic career. Let's see, Fred Monteblanco. Yeah, he ordered a 10x10 once. Yeah, I saw it. I sat next to him, and we were like so proud of him. We were like, we wanted to frame the receipt, maybe hang it from the rafters, like they do with jerseys. It was impressive. So Mike Lau, in circa 2002, maybe 2001, it would have been baseball season, spring season. Doesn't matter. The point is, Mike Lau did it. We didn't think he could, and he did. And to bring it full circle, many people did not think Rio Hondo would win on Friday night, but they did. They did it. And I couldn't be more proud of them. I got a little emotional on Wednesday on the podcast, anticipating this game. It absolutely delivered to all the alumni out there. Who tune into the podcast, to the parents of the players. Everyone is just so supportive, and it's just really something special here. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed this season as much as I have. It's not done yet. We're going up against St. Pius X, I'll call him, because I'm not sure about the official name. But Steve Amon writes in, what are your thoughts on St. Pius X? Quarterback with a good arm and weapons down the field to throw to, can scramble as well for positive yards. Going to be a tough one. Big boys on the line. I think the discipline of RHP will match up well. Should be a fun one. Going to be another long week waiting for Friday night. Steve Amon with the scouting report for us up in Oregon, man. Good. God bless you, Steve. Steve was texting me and telling me, please keep the Facebook Lives coming on Friday night. He posted a picture of his laptop basically frozen on the NFHS website, was not cooperating for those that wanted to watch the game who couldn't get there. And he was grateful, as other people were, for the Facebook Live videos I was doing. So I wasn't planning on doing a lot of the game, but I did, and a lot of fun. So thanks for the scouting report, Steve. I did look at a little bit of film from St. Pius. Very athletic, very dangerous as far as making big plays. It's going to be a tough football game. I mean, like Mark said, think Charter Oak, but better. It's a team in the next round. So it's a team that can put up points, that can be explosive. And if you're not disciplined, if you let them get through the first level, I mean, they're going to be off and running. Just a team that is very athletic, and I think could probably throw it a little bit better than Charter Oak did on Friday night. So kind of dual threat. Charter Oak wanted to run the ball a lot, and they did. But I think St. Pius will definitely be putting the ball in the air a lot more. So the D line is going to have to get pressure. Big offensive line. You got to be more athletic than them and get to the quarterback. And I think the Rio Hondo recipe for success, the recipe for victory, is something you saw Friday night. It's running the ball, controlling the clock. The clock is your friend. That's why Rio can't get behind by multiple scores, because sometimes it is tough to catch up. But if you keep it a one-score game, you can wear down a team, even a team that is as good as St. Pius X. So that's kind of what you got to do. You got to stay healthy this week. Extra hydration. I know a lot of concerns were there for Jonathan Guerrero and his health going forward. I think he's going to be just fine. Just was cramping up. I talked to his dad before the game, and Mr. Guerrero said, the first 5 minutes of this game will tell us everything we need to know. And he was right. I mean, the first 5 minutes, Charter Oak punched and Rio punched right back, stopped Charter Oak, had them punt early and went right up the field and scored a touchdown. So hopefully there's more of that. I think it'll be probably some more points on the board this Friday against St. Pius. I don't know what the viewing situation will be, but it is a home game, and I will attempt to be there. I'm doing everything I can, work related to get there, and I should be there, but we'll see what happens. Either way, I will be talking Rio Hondo Prep football with you guys on Sunday and posting the podcast episode on Monday for those that could not tune in to Facebook Live today, whether it be live or rewatching it here on some time on a Sunday. I got to tell you, it's been an amazing weekend so far. Huge Rio Hondo game, Friday night victory, of course. Saturday, 2 amazing fights in boxing and UFC. I was in heaven watching both. And then Sunday, NFL football. My Rams don't play till 5:30 tonight. So a lot to be thankful for, but definitely the biggest moment of the weekend was the Rio Hondo Prep win, taking down Goliath, one of the blue bloods in Charter Oak High School, taking down the Chargers. Couldn't be prouder of them. A big moment for RHP. And for those that were fortunate enough to be there, man, what a sight to see. What a thing to experience. Big thanks to Todd Carson for getting these shirts made. It was a whiteout in the stands. The back of it says beat the Chargers, has the 2 helmets and the date of the game. So I thought that was really, really cool. Just another example of the unity really in the Rio Hondo Prep football tradition. So Coach Carson, thank you again for coming on the pod. Thanks for all you do. Ray Montez, that was a pleasure, man. Keep up the hard work. Hopefully we can talk to Paul Elena or another player next week after the game Friday for our Sunday show. And I hope there's a few more shows here, guys, if you know what I mean. Hopefully the Cares can keep it going. And it's going to be tough. There's no easy ones, especially in Division 7, big schools, great athletes, just good overall football teams. And it's put up or shut up time for the Rio Hondo Prep Cares. This has been a special season. To the seniors, to the entire team for Rio, thank you for representing so well for those who've come before you and for those who will come after you. You guys have carried the torch of Rio Hondo Prep football proudly, and it's an honor to watch you guys, and to the coaches who put in long hours and details and all that, not making really any money doing this, just putting in extra time because they love the kids, they love the football program. To the coaches, God bless you guys for all your hard work. And man, RHP football is in great hands, not just with the coaches, but this senior class and the fan base. Let's continue to rally this thing, guys. Thank you for the support on the podcast. I'm excited. I want more and more feedback from you guys, voicemails, emails, comments. I love it all. Just keep them coming, and let's keep this thing going. As Mark Carson says often, we're just getting started. So thanks for joining me today, guys, on this edition of the Get Home Safe podcast. Go Rio Hondo Prep, second round of the playoffs at home on Friday night. Rio with a huge win over Charter Oak this past Friday, arguably the best win in program history. Dave Diaz, great job, Matt. Let's go. I agree, Dave. Thank you. Let's go. Let's go, Hondo. Beat St. Pius. Come out in force if you can on Friday night. It's going to be fun. Let's keep this Rio Hondo rhythm going, guys. Can't wait. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. A charge to keep. Go Rio Hondo.